So hello all. Today we have Dr. Aisha, and she is founder and CEO of E-Ladder for You organization, and she is having more than 25 years experience into HR management field. And today she will guide us for the HR and EdTech in latest terms and for the future how it will be beneficial for us. So welcome to this session.
Yeah, thanks for actually giving me the opportunity on One Click HR. And yes, I would like to kind of share my journey on how exactly I've come into the HR and the EdTech together as my passion and experience putting together. So basically, I have an entire year of 25 years of experience into HR, and I've also been honored as a PhD. I've done my MS, I've done my MBA. So there are a few bit of here and there on my education as well. So this journey, I started it from Ford, India, where probably I started my career way long back in 1996 and moved to from India to Middle East and to the US basically. So it's kind of the journey was pretty hard. It was not easy for me to travel this and achieve what today I am. I've won a couple of awards, which is Global Indian Achievers Award. We've also won the Go Global 2021 as a professional services company in Washington, which was actually online due to COVID. And we're also the finalists for the Go Global 2023
Okay.
and in New York, which I will be traveling in November to actually receive this award.
Got it.
I've also invited to speak on the Edu magazine, which is going to take place in December. They have not finalized with the venue. So yes, I would like to combine HR and EdTech. The reason why is both are people management
Yeah.
and both are a student as well as experienced entrepreneurs putting together, beginning the journey and ending the journey is all the same. As that's the reason I wanted to combine both the experience together. So I think I've established this company in 2017 when my son wanted to go study in the US. And I found that a lot of not a lot of education consultancy has helped us into this, finding him admission process and things like that. So I was thinking that maybe a lot of families and parents are suffering to find a good institution to kind of do the study abroad. Then I really started myself the old-fashioned way.
Okay. First question to you is, as an HR expert, what are the key challenges you see in the intersection of the HR and EdTech, and how do you think they can be addressed in current scenario? Can you please elaborate?
See, as a HR expert with a strong background in EdTech, I recognize the key challenge is the intersection between these two has to have a right balance because technology is going to be the complete world now. And while we also have to adapt the solution of current technology, which is like AI and chat GPT and things like that. But however, my perception always it's been that in any organization, human resources is very important. No matter what it is, when you feed the AI, definitely somebody has to feed in the key process on how human resources works in, whether it is payroll or HR practice or any kind of HR uh, uh, revolution, which is wanting to, but definitely has to be put in the AI process.
Mm.
So I would say that it's an advantage as a solution, but still HR is a pioneer, which needs to be in every organization.
Great. My second question will be, how did you collaborate with the legal and HR teams to ensure a seamless and efficient visa and relocation process, and how do you manage any conflicting priorities or challenges that arose with your firm? Can you please guide?
Uh, initially, when I moved from India to the Middle East, so it was a kind of something very new. The reason why is working in the Indian companies here is going to be our motherland. And so it is only the process of the incoming visas where we had to kind of process for the delegates.
mm,
But once we move out of India and when it comes to different parts of the other world, I could see that in the Middle East, where I was working in companies where for the past 20 or more years, I have seen at least 158 nationalities throughout the world.
mm,
So the complete challenge is different, and the process of is different. We need to actually have the relocation process done,
mm,
and every country has its own law.
mm,
We need to combine the aspect of legal and HR.
mm,
So if we are not well versed in the legal process of the visa aspect,
mm,
being in the HR throughout the world is definitely going to be hard and tough for us to know the whole thing.
mm.
So we'll have to actually learn the a little bit of legalization in law as well.
Yes. Mhm. Great. And my third question will be to you that how do you think the rise of remote work and online learning has impacted the field of HR, and what opportunities does it present for the entrepreneurs and for the future as well? Can you please guide?
Well, I think the rise of the remote working is become kind of very high now. It's for the technology industry, it has always been there,
Yes.
like whether if it's in the US or UK or Canada, because the reason why is the kind of the process of the world scenario where it's day and night and things like that, and
Yes.
IT people have to be 24/7. But after COVID is come, it's like blessing in disguise. It kind of became a very importance to the human where
Yes.
being at home to work. But however, I think in the field of HR, we definitely, our HR professionals cannot work sitting at home,
Yes.
being 24/7. We need to be at the site. We need to actually see the human, interact with the employees physically,
Yes.
have the emotions physically processed. It's challenging, but the monitoring of 24/7, those days are gone. It's become a 360 challenge nowadays. However, I prefer actually working from the office than being online. But the transformation is huge now,
Yes.
and people are preferring to work at home,
Yes.
being online.
Mm. Great. My next question will be to you is what strategies do you recommend for fostering employee engagement and motivation into global workforce? Can you please guide?
Uh, Motivation is something very important because nowadays every employees need that, whether it is a matter of a CEO or the matter of even the labor skilled workers, because the motivation is lost.
Mm.
People think we are all global kind of robots. So just work, come, and earlier there was a kind of culture when I'm talking at least 10, 15 years ago. We definitely had a lot of fun working. But
Yes.
now it looks like there is there is there's no fun in working. It's just people come and work and they just want to go back home, and I don't even know if they have fun at home. I'm sorry, but that's the fact going on in this generation. But definitely, as in being an HR professional, I would suggest that motivation is very important. At least every month, going outside, having a picnic, or
Okay.
kind of bringing everybody's families to the office, introducing them to the employees, and at least having once a week of collaboration or kind of an interaction with every employee in the department wise. So these are aspects where the department heads and the CEO and everybody has to put together to join.
Okay.
And as nowadays we are dealing with global employees. So we should definitely have the interaction even through online with global fun,
Yes.
like it's just kind of. So motivation is very important based on that's the positivity which gives us working.
Mm.
Even though I'm an entrepreneur, I also need the motivation to work, right?
Definitely.
So that's mandatory.
Great. Great. And my next question is to you is as a global HR leader, as you are, how do you ensure compliance with the current labor law regulation while adhering the to company policies and values?
Uh, yeah, this is where I had also faced challenges, but to kind of be tip to toes and to really know the laws of every country. First of all, before we get into the organization, I think we'll have to make sure that we know the organization laws connecting to the country's law,
Mm.
being in HR. And we'll have to actually go get into ourselves into training and do a lot of research on every aspect of the policy in the organization to make sure that we abide with the country's law.
Yes.
The laws in the US are different, the laws in the Middle East are different, and India is different. and every law has to be combined, put together, because if becoming a global leader, we definitely need to make sure that as few companies have offices all over, so
Yes.
we have to make sure that we kind of do a transparent aspect of the policies set in a manual where everybody comes to know this. So what I do normally is when I set my payroll and my policies, I
Mm.
make sure that I put the global policy in the handbook. So
Mm.
we don't need to kind of, keep
Right.
telling at the time of the employees joining, but we'll have to review them every once in 6 months or every year because everything changes.
Great.
So that's the way it has to work.
Great. So thank you so much, Dr. Aisha, for wonderful knowledge sharing.
Thank you so much, Samir. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we hope to talk again.
Thank you.
Thank you.